So what's your name?
I'm David Brown.
Okay, so what do you do in the ministry?
I am a pastor. I've been pastoring for 14 years in Rock Island, Illinois.
So what advice do you have for youth who are trying to develop a prayer life and they just want a fervent, passionate prayer life and like pray for longer than 5 minutes and like actually for it to be deep and like not like a craving to talk to God, not just a chore?
Yeah. Well, first thing I'd recommend is we have a lot of distractions.
Right.
And distractions tend to occupy our time, and prayer takes time. And so I would eliminate distractions. So I would spend, some time and just say, you know what, I'm going to cut out some things that are unnecessary in my life. Whether it's social media, video games, videos, and just cut it out. I'm not saying like never again play a video game, but just take some time, a week or a few days or a couple weeks, and just cut that out of your life. The other thing I would recommend is having a prayer outline. When Jesus' disciples asked, how to pray, he gave them an outline, and so I would develop an outline. Whether I would start. Me personally, I follow ACTS, A-C-T-S. I start with adoration, go to confession, then thanksgiving and supplication.
Oh, that's good.
And so it's just a basic guideline. One thing that also helped me a lot was I would find scriptures that go with each part of the prayer outline that I follow, and pray those scriptures, like personalize them, speak them as though they're coming from me. And then what I've done several times is I'd find songs that go with each of those categories of prayer. And so instead of like looking at my clock and saying, okay, I spent 5 minutes in adoration, I'm going to spend 5 minutes in confession, I would find songs that go with that attitude of prayer. And so when that song's over and it goes to another song, I already know that's my cue. I'm going into Thanksgiving. And then another song comes on, I'm going into, confession or whatever. And so I'd find songs that fit that mood of prayer. And next thing you know, you're praying for 15, 30, 45 minutes, an hour, very easily. So don't be afraid to have a pen and paper when you go to pray. Because God will speak to you. You could write those things down. And also, sometimes we're praying and you are thinking about school, you're thinking about your job, you're thinking about your friends, you're thinking about chores that you got to do. And instead of thinking about them, write them down, because you don't need to forget about them. But write them down and then go on in prayer, and you don't have to have that occupy your mind. So eliminate distractions, focus, have a plan, and see it through.
That's good. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so what's your name?
My name is Alex Perry.
Where were you born?
Havieron, Botswana, in southern Africa.
Ooh.
Do you really have to talk? Hey. Okay, I don't really have a question.
Yeah, I was born in southern Africa, missionary kid.
What is your advice for youth struggling to stay in church and struggling to deepen their relationship with God?
It's like the old song that we used to listen to as kids. Read your Bible, pray every day, pray every day. It's really simple. Pray every day, talk to God. That's how it works. If you try to do this without doing those two things, it's not going to work.
How do you keep going when no one else is? Like when you don't really have a youth group or a friend or like really people to fall back on, like when you're just the only one? How do you handle it?
I'd say there's two sides to that coin. First of all, you keep going by having that relationship with God. You don't have that, you're gonna fall. Right. Second of all, Micah 7:8. Rejoice not against me only.
That's good.
When
That's
I fall,
good.
I shall rise.
That's good.
So you're gonna fall. You just gotta make sure you fall forward.
Right. Ooh.
The guy in the football game, the one that's always getting hit the most, the one that's always down the most, he's the guy that has the ball. He's the one that gets right back up.
That's good.
He ends up in the end zone. But you see, we get into those situations, right, where you're the only person you're the only one that actually is hungry for God.
Right.
And everybody else is coming to church, but their back's to them. They're not. They're just kind of forced to be there. I'd say the best way to change that environment is go out there and find people that are actually hungry for God.
Right.
The best person to build your youth group is you. The best person to get things going in your church is you. Young people are the reason that churches grow. If you look at the Bible, the apostles, they weren't 33 years old. They were young guys that walked with Jesus, that got his heartbeat, his passion. So after he left, they had a decision to make. They could either take what they got and apply it to their lives, they could continue the ministry of Jesus, or they could decide that I'm just not going to do anything and I'm going to be boring. And that's kind of like what people do after camp. You know, it's kind of like we've been with Jesus all week, like the apostles. They were with Jesus for a long time.
Right.
Well, then Jesus left. Well, we're leaving camp. What are we going to do with it? So I choose to be like that.
That's good.
And so that's what it comes down to. I know it's hard, but the best thing to do is, first of all, have a relationship with God. Second of all, go out and find people that want it. But make sure you have a relationship with your pastor.
That's good.
But if you don't have a youth leader, even just find somebody that's older than you. Find somebody that is strong in Jesus, somebody that you can tell that they're passionate about this, so that you can stay accountable to them. That you can say, look, I'm getting down, I'm struggling. It seems like there's nobody here, nobody, you know. There's people in your church that are willing to reach out, that want to go spend time with you, that just don't want to feel like you're crossing the line because, you know, you're some young person and they don't want to feel like, I don't know. But as long as you find that person, you make sure that, you know, you have somebody that you're accountable to, somebody that you can go and say, I need your help. I know for me, I'm a pastor's son, so making that transition from saying, this is my dad, I don't really want to go to him for like spiritual advice. It just feels weird. That's a lie from the enemy. If your parents are in ministry, what better way? There's tons of people out there that wish they could be with their pastor that much. So just learn and grow from people above you. You know, look vertically, not horizontally. And that's good. You know, you don't want to be trying to. You don't want to try and go horizontally in your leadership, and that you want to be, you know, the same level you are right now, same level as everybody else. You want to be a leader, so you go horizontally, and I mean vertically. That's up.
Right.
So you look at people that are above you, just try to be like them. So,
That's good.
yeah.
Woo!
Excellent. Anything else?
I don't know. I guess that's it.
We'll say thanks for now. Thanks, Alex.
Thank you guys.
Alex Perry.